The following is a production of Learfield Sports.
He got it! The Illini come to Spokane. Looking to inbound. Gets it to Griffey. Layup! No! It's gone!
What a game!
They're rushing the clock!
What a game!
The Illini have won!
Fighting Illini Insider is brought to you by Fighting Illini Energy, the official electricity choice of Illini Nation. The Illini Card, the official credit card of the University of Illinois.
Hello everyone, I'm Ryan Baker. Welcome to another edition of Fighting Illini Insider, joined by head men's basketball coach John Groce. In a little bit, Matt Bolan is going to visit with us as the Illini ladies prepare for the upcoming Big Ten women's basketball tournament later on this week. They'll play on Thursday against Wisconsin up at Hoffman Estates. Unfortunately, Coach, it was a bittersweet senior day for the Illini women as they couldn't get past Ohio State. Nebraska tried to play spoiler on the men's senior day on Saturday, but fortunately, your guys were able to send the veterans out with a win in their final game at Assembly Hall.
It was a great day. Great day, obviously, 50th year anniversary of a terrific building. And then, obviously, our seniors, the way that they played, the way they stepped up and made big plays late in the game. You know, DJ's three, Brandon's big three at the end of the clock, Griffey's three in front of the bench. And I thought the young guys, Ryan, really – it was important to them. It just shows you how connected our team is, that those guys played well for our seniors.
With the 72-65 win over the Cornhuskers, the Illini improved to 8-8, back to 500 in Big Ten play, 21-9 overall, in prime position for the postseason with 2 games left on the schedule on the road at Iowa and at Ohio State. Right now, let's take a look back at that senior day win over Nebraska with Brian Barnhart and Jerry Hester on the call.
Paul, entry feed, McLaurin has it knocked away by Ubel. Back to Richardson, drives down the lane, DJ with a layup, is good. Richardson off the glass for 2 on the layup, and we're tied at 2. Illini on the break, down the lane, Richardson off balance layup, no good. Rebound tapped out, kept alive by Illinois. Richardson gets it back, shoots a 3 and got it. Illinois down early, 9-6. 7 to shoot. Paul, crossover, in traffic, forced the shot up, and it went in. From 15 feet, right wing to Brandon Paul. Paul on the dribble, pick and pop, Henry, wide open, 3, got it. Here is David Rivers, trying to get a pass to Ubel, stolen by Henry. Henry to the basket, layup is blocked, goaltending on Nebraska. McLaurin, hands to Paul, drive, kick, corner, Richardson, 3, it is good.
Great pass by Brandon.
DJ back to Brandon. Left wing, they throw it to Abrams. Looking for a pick and pop. Abrams down the lane. Floater in the lane is good. Abrams with a little short shot in the lane. He's got 5.
But make Illinois pay with the shot from Gallegos.
Here is Paul. Looks to shoot. Drives. Free throw line. Jumper up and good. 8 to shoot. Now John Groce says, let's go. Here is Tracy. 5 to shoot. Tracy launches a top of the key 3, and he got it.
Oh, big shot.
And that should do it for the half.
Oh.
Wow.
That's good momentum after the way Illinois played. You like Illinois to be up 7 or 8 at half, but still have the momentum after a big shot by Tracy.
Top of the key on the drive. Paul, 4 to shoot, turn around, desperation heave is good. Got it for 2. 15 minutes left. Here is Bertrand who's in the game. Bertrand, stutter step, spin, short jumper, good. The patented Joe Bertrand.
Got over the hump. It's been a 1-2 point game. They haven't been able to take the lead until now.
Henry trying to answer, and he does with a 3 from the left wing. They left Mike Henry open. Paul on the inbound, shoots a long 3, and in and out, no good. Egwood with a tap, and it's good. Egwood follows it in and lays it up and in. The Illini take the lead, 50-49. Brandon Paul in front of us on the dribble, drives down the lane. Brandon off balance, pass inside, shot up and good. Mike Henry with a quick shot inside on the feed from Brandon Paul. Gets it to Brandon with 7. Brandon out top, right wing, up, fires a 3 and got it.
He has a knack for making those shots.
And he just passed Andy Kaufman on the all-time scoring list. Both teams about 47% in this half. Here's the inbounder, Richardson fires a 3 and got it. Richardson on the 3 from the corner.
That allowed him to get good looks.
Richardson, Egwood to Abrams, right corner, drives in, layup, good! Tracy Abrams drives in right baseline. 10 for Tracy. Timeout, Nebraska. John Groce out yelling at his team in encouragement at midcourt. Illinois in the offensive end in front of us. Paul drives, Looking, driving, scoop shot, layup, good! Oh, Brandon Paul. Seniors die hard. 66-62 Illinois. 72-65 Illinois. 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Tally with a fadeaway 15-footer. Banked to no good. Rebound to Henry. Ball game. Illinois wins.
The time has now come when all of their hard work and dedication is put to the ultimate test. They will put it all on the line to become NCAA champions, and you can experience it live. Be there at the 2013 NCAA Division I Men's and Women's Tennis Championships, May 16th through 27th in Urbana-Champaign, Illinois, hosted by the University of Illinois Champaign. Get your NCAA championship tickets today at ncaa.com/tickets and make a date with champions.
Welcome back to Fighting the Illini Insider with head coach John Groce. Coach, when you're a senior day opponent, it's almost like being the team that you schedule for homecoming. I know it wasn't intended that way when the schedule's laid out, but that team that comes in wants to upset the party. It's so much emotion going on, and it certainly was the case this past Saturday when your 5 seniors, DJ Richardson, Brandon Paul, Sam McLaurin, Tyler Griffey, and Kevin Berardini, honored before the game in a very special ceremony with their families, with the coaching staff. How difficult is that to get refocused and go play a game that means something and matters to your team?
Well, you've got to be really mature. It's not easy. We had a lot last week, a lot of great events on campus, a lot of things that our guys got a chance to participate in that were terrific. At the same time, as a coach, you're trying to get them focused and dial back into, hey, what's most important is the ball game we're playing at 4:15 against Nebraska. So I thought we did a pretty good job of that, but it can be emotional for seniors. Senior days are, a different dynamic for sure.
You got the sense early on with Ray Gallegos and Dylan Talley. I mean, everything they were throwing up, and they had the green light. They were letting it fly as soon as they touched it, but it was going in, that you knew Nebraska was going to hang around, even though you were up 3 at halftime. Did you get the sense that you knew you were going to have to go down to the wire to pull that one out?
Well, I thought those two were spectacular. You felt like they were throwing rocks in the ocean. They were. We let them get going early. We lost. Yeah, we lost Gallegos a couple times early, and then once he got to feeling good, then the basket looked like I said, like he was throwing rocks in the ocean. He really made a lot of plays. Those two guys were spectacular on Saturday.
I know it was senior day, and of course you want those guys putting on an Illini uniform coming out the tunnel at Assembly Hall for the last time to have big games. But a pair of your sophomores really stepped up, and Tracy Abrams leading the way with 16 points, and Mike Henry, who I believe played his best game ever since being a member of the Illini, with 12 points, 9 rebounds, none bigger than that offensive board with about a minute to go.
No question. I thought those guys played well. I thought Nana played well, getting 10 and 5, and was really good on the defensive end. I thought Tracy made plays. I thought Mike Henry played the best game he certainly played this year for sure. He was really consistent, and he scored before for us, Ryan. But what he added to that on Saturday was rebounding, hustle plays, defending. And I think Mike's starting to figure that out. The next step for Mike is to be a consistent performer, not just a guy that plays a really good game and then a couple games later comes back with another one. And part of that's maturity and part of that's experience as a young guy.
And to stay engaged on both ends of the floor, knowing there are various ways you can help your team other than scoring the basketball.
No question, and he did that at a high level.
Absolutely. And in that game, you closed it out 72-65, but it was the moment right after the game when Brandon Paul was at midcourt, kind of overcome with emotion when it hits you, that as a player, I'm never going to be on this court again. DJ as well had to compose himself before doing his post-game radio interview. For you, even though you've only been with these guys one season, what was that moment like for you, particularly being able to get a win in that last game for those guys?
Well, I was so happy for those guys. I've said that numerous times. The group has been a fun group to coach. They're very connected right now. They're playing the right way and for the right reasons.
And honestly, you weren't certain that they might buy in being seniors since they had been on another system before, but it seems like they've done everything you've asked them to do. Tyler as well as Sam coming in for his 5th year with the Illini.
No question. They've been very open-minded. For that, we're forever grateful. They've done a great job of laying a foundation for where we want to go, and we still hopefully have some more basketball to play here. I'm most proud of their resiliency. They've been that group that people can't do this, can't do that, and they've kind of just toughed it out, grinded it out, and really been able to have a special season to this point, and hopefully we have some more basketball here left to play.
Well, as seniors, I'm sure that they understand that individual accolades are not what people remember. It's if you win. And there's still a lot of basketball left to be played in the regular season, as we said, at Iowa, at Ohio State. Big Ten tournament, and then the postseason and beyond. So hopefully they can really cap their careers with something special.
No question. And I know those guys have had a goal to do that from the very first time we met back in the spring of 2012. So, you know, we're looking forward to continuing to work with them and lead them. And those guys have been great. As long as they have that mindset, hey, let's just keep getting a little bit better. They've been very mature with that. And if we take it one day at a time, then we'll have an opportunity. Coming
up, we'll look ahead to the trip to Iowa City for another big game on the schedule. But coming up next after the break, Illini head women's basketball coach Matt Bolant will join me here in the studio. Joining us now here on Fighting Illini Insider is head women's basketball coach Matt Bolant. Good to see you again, Coach.
Good to see you, Ryan.
I got a big week ahead for your ball club. But first, let's talk about some breaking news. Postseason awards are always nice to be handed out to anybody on your team. And the Big Ten coaches and media just released their all Big Ten teams, and Charisma Penn, first team voted by the media and second team by the coaches, along with Adrian Godbold. But Adrian Godbold voted the Defensive Player of the Year in the Big Ten by the Big Ten coaches. That's got to make you very proud, certainly after just your one season at the helm with these young ladies.
Yeah, great to see Charisma return to the first team, and Adrian to make second team by the coaches is great. And to get Defensive Player of the Year. I think Charisma was probably deserving of defense in the all-defense team as well.
Adrian was also on the all-defensive team by the coaches. So
yeah.
Anytime a player gets rewarded for defense, that makes the coach smile.
It
right?
does. You know, it's something we talk a lot about, and
right.
Obviously we forced a lot of turnovers this year when those two have been a huge key with that. So proud of those two seniors, and great to see them get recognized for all their hard work.
The Illini ladies are heading up to Hoffman Estates to the Sears Center for the Big Ten women's basketball tournament, which tips off on Thursday. The Illini, the number 6 seed, you'll take on Wisconsin in the second game of that bracket. You know, a team that you swept during the regular season. Does that give you some extra confidence going into that opening round game?
Yeah, I think it does. At the same time, you know, they say it's hard to be a 13th twice. I'm not so sure there's a lot to that. But Wisconsin's a good team. They lost a 2-point game to Nebraska at home. Nebraska finished second in their league, and they lost on the road to Michigan State by 6, who's, you know, tied for third in their league. So they've been playing good basketball, and should be a great first-round test for us. An opportunity to get another win.
Should Illinois get past Wisconsin, up next is the third seed of the tournament, Purdue. And same Purdue probably is a sore subject at this moment, because that's the team you lost to in the regular season finale on the road over in West Lafayette. How difficult was it to lose that game 76-65?
Yeah, you know, it was a high-level game. You know, I watched the film last night. We got back, and it was an NCAA tournament-type game. And proud of our kids. They fought really hard, played really aggressively, and obviously didn't get enough to get it done. But you know what? I think we played as well as we have all year in the loss, and did a lot of good things in that. And I think we carried that into a neutral court environment. I think we got a shot to make a run here.
Was the rims a little tight at Mackey Arena? 1 of 15 from three-point
range.
Yeah,
we didn't shoot the three.
And 0-11 in the second half. Do you think they were rushing the shots? Or was
yeah,
just
they were actually really good looks.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't make more of them, honestly. We shot the ball really well from 2. We were really aggressive. We were 25 for 45 from 2. So, you know, we shot over 55% from 2, and Adrian and Charisma did a great job getting to the rim and scoring. You know, and we had maybe 1 or 2 in the second half that were rushed, but the last 8 that we shot were rhythm, feet set, stepping into your shot.
Just couldn't go down.
Yeah, that you need to take, but you got to make a couple of those. And we just make 2 or 3 of those, and we're right in it at the end.
Another big game for Charisma Penn, and that loss to the Boilermakers with 23 points, and she went over 1,000 rebounds for her career, only the 15th player in Big Ten history to do that. Unfortunately, a few nights earlier here in Champaign at the Hall, on your team's senior day, couldn't get out of that to celebrate a win for the final game for your seniors. And Charisma Penn, another double-double in that game. With that's her 13th of the season, I believe, but you lose that one to Ohio State 64-53.
Yeah, Ohio State's playing great basketball. Obviously, they got Amber Stokes back. Amber's one of the best players in our league, and she's made a difference. They've won like 6 of their last 8, beat Michigan at home yesterday. So, you know, we ended up with 2 really tough teams playing great basketball. And we played fairly well in both games. I like to have the Ohio State team back. I felt like we played a lot better against Purdue than we did against them. But it's a fresh slate. You know, we finished tied for 5th in the Big Ten. I don't know how long it's been since Illinois had a 9-7, above 500 record.
Well, first time in a decade, the Illini women have had a winning record in the Big Ten at 9-7, as you said, in conference play, 16-12 overall. Coach, all the best to you up in Hoffman Estates, and hopefully you guys are there for more than a few days and
Sounds good.
playing
Make
on
a
Sunday.
run.
Absolutely. All right, we're back with more after this on Fighting Illini Insider.
It's time for the Illini Update. The men's basketball team triumphed over Nebraska 72-65 on senior night at Assembly Hall on Saturday. 5 players scored in double figures for the team's final home game. Coming up, the Orange and Blue will travel to Columbus to take on Ohio State on Sunday, March 10th. The women's basketball team fell on senior night to Ohio State 64-53 at Assembly Hall on Thursday. On Sunday, the team traveled to Indiana to face Purdue and lost 65-76. Coming up, the team will compete in the Big Ten tournament in Hoffman Estates Thursday, March 7th through Sunday, March 10th. The men's gymnastics team fell to #1 Penn State at Huff Hall on Saturday. The meet was the first the Illini contended under the new NCAA wide scoring change. Coming up, the team will host Minnesota at home on Friday, March 8th. The women's gymnastics team improved on their last week's score but lost to Penn State at Huff Hall on Saturday. Coming up, the Orange and Blue will travel to Columbia to take on Mizzou on Friday, March 8th. The wrestling team will host the Big Ten Wrestling Championships at Assembly Hall on Saturday, March 9th and Sunday, March 10th. The baseball team traveled to Arlington, Texas over the weekend to take on Houston Baptist. On Friday, the team won their game with a score of 8-3. On Saturday, the team pulled out a second win with a score of 12-3. On Sunday, the Illini tied in the 7th inning but fell 6-5, snapping their 6-game winning streak. Coming up, the team will head back to Texas to take on Baylor University Friday, March 8th through Sunday, March 10th. The softball team traveled to Florida over the weekend for the USF Under Armour Invitational. On Friday, the team was defeated in both of their games, falling to Kentucky 5-4 and to USF 3-2. On Saturday, the team won their first game against Maine 7-1 but fell to Toledo 6-0. The Illini finished the invite Sunday with an 11-2 win over Providence College in 6 innings. Coming up, the team will compete in the Fighting Illini Invitational on Friday, March 15th through Sunday, March 17th at home in Urbana. The men's tennis team defeated Iowa on Friday, kicking off Big Ten play at home with a score of 7-0. On Saturday, the Illini hosted Northwestern, defeating their in-state rival 5-2. Coming up, the team will host Virginia at home on Sunday, March 17th, and USC at home on Monday, March 18th. The women's tennis team opened Big Ten play this weekend with a loss, falling to Northwestern 5-2 at home on Saturday. Coming up, the team will travel to Lincoln to take on the Cornhuskers on Friday, March 8th, before returning to Iowa City to take on the Hawkeyes Sunday, March 10th. The men's indoor track and field team placed second at the Big Ten Championships last week in Geneva, Ohio. Coming up, the team will travel to Fayetteville, Arkansas to compete in the NCAA Indoor Championships on Friday, March 8th and Saturday, March 9th. The women's indoor track and field team competed in the Alex Wilson Invitational in South Bend, Indiana over the weekend. Coming up, the team will travel to Fayetteville, Arkansas to compete in the NCAA Indoor Championships on Friday, March 8th and Saturday, March 9th. The swimming and diving team will compete in the NCAA Zone Diving Championships on Thursday, March 14th through Sunday, March 17th. The women's golf team placed 11 of 13 teams in the Westbrook Spring Invite last Monday in Peoria, Arizona. Coming up, the team will compete in the Notre Dame Clover Cup in Mesa, Arizona on Friday, March 8th through Sunday, March 10th. The men's golf team will compete in the Desert Shootout in Goodyear, Arizona on Thursday, March 21st through Sunday, March 23rd. For more information on Illini athletics, check out fightingillini.com.
All right, before we wrap things up here on Fighting Illini Insider, Coach, your team's headed to Iowa City for it's going to be a tough ball game. It's always tough to win at Carver Hawkeye Arena, but it's an Iowa team that has postseason aspirations of their own, and they're knocking on the door in a very competitive league. I mentioned at the top of the show, Illini back to 8-8. But you look at Iowa, they're right there, sitting there at 7-9.
They are, and they've done a great job of playing, in particular at home.
14-2 at home.
Yeah, well, they've lost in those 2 games. They were up late against Indiana, Michigan State, 2 quality ball clubs in our league. So it's going to take a great effort. But I told our guys, it's pretty cool. You're in March, and you got 2 teams playing for something this time of year. Not every team can say that right now, this deep into the season. So, we're excited about the opportunity and the challenge, and looking forward to traveling and getting there and seeing if we can find a way to grind one out.
Roy Devin Marvel is a pretty good talent, and he leads them in scoring. What are the things you're looking at as you head for this game against the Hawkeyes that you're really going to have to focus on and concentrate on to come out there with a W?
Well, I think the biggest thing is we've got to get back. I mean, it's like playing a track meet, very similar to playing Michigan. Their tempo is really high.
Fran likes to speed it up.
They do, and they come at you with 10 players. They've got a lot of depth. They force turnovers really well. They're second in the league in steal percentage, and they get out and they convert those turnovers. They get the home crowd into the game. So I think taking care of the ball is really important, and then I think limiting their opportunities in transition.
As you get close to the end of the regular season, do you feel a sense of extra motivation or enthusiasm knowing that kind of light at the end of the tunnel is right there, and they've had some success and some things go their way to say, you know what, now let's pick it up and let's leave it all out on the court, because win, lose, or draw, we're not going to have that many games left, but let's do something that's really going to be special before we wrap this thing up.
No question, and a lot of that comes from our seniors. We've got an older team, and you could feel that coming, Ryan, in February.
Right.
Now you get to March, everybody's talking about March Madness. March is finally here.
Right.
So, certainly there's an excitement and a buzz in the air. I mean, I've always said March is the, greatest month of the year, and it's the greatest, the NCAA tournament's the greatest tournament. Now, I'm biased, obviously, because I'm in it, I think, in the world. So it's a cool time of year to have a chance to be playing for things, and obviously Iowa has that opportunity, and we do as well.
Illini have a lot to play for with that game at Iowa, and then heading to Columbus to take on Ohio State to close out the regular season, then on to the Big Ten tournament. Lots to talk about in the coming weeks, and we'll do it here on Fighting Illini Insider for the head coach, John Groce. I'm Ryan Baker. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.